What do you say when your kids ask why the other parent left? In parentheses, she said cheating.
Okay, so you definitely don't. So my family did this very wrong, Rob. They sat me down on a Friday afternoon and were like, Mommy and Daddy are getting divorced. Daddy has a new girlfriend. And like 5 seconds later, he was in the driveway with the girlfriend. And I was like, wait, what? Um, your child doesn't need to know. It depends on the age, first of all. Like, I always believe in giving truthful, age appropriate information, which means you can say, Daddy and I love you very much. Adults have adult problems. Daddy made a choice to not be in this house anymore, but he's still going to be your daddy and we're still going to love you. I don't think it's, if the child is under a certain age, you're not going to divulge that information because why? Then your child thinks that this person is bad. They did something bad. Am I bad because I'm half of them? Am I bad because I love them? Do I have to feel bad for mommy every time I go see this person? That was the stuff that I carried. And you don't know how that weighs and how terrible that feels. And so I don't think it's necessary unless the child is of an age where they can figure things out and you have a different conversation and you say, listen, you know what? Your dad made a choice that he has to live with that, definitely hurt me, but my hurt is not yours and you don't have to be mad at him for it. You still get to enjoy your dad, just not in this home.
That must be a really hard thing for people when the pain that you're feeling is visceral and real. This partner really could have wronged you, but it's different than the experience that you want your kid to have with them. There's like a
It's
disconnect there.
it's awful, like I would never in a million years like do to my child what my parents did to me, which was constantly talk badly about each other. I mean, my mom wasn't so bad, but like I knew she didn't like my dad, but my dad never let up and he was the one who did all the bad stuff. So it was like, I would never do that no matter how much her dad has pissed me off in the past or even now, like we're not married anymore, but we co-parent really well, but we're still going to get on each other's nerves. She'll say, "Are you mad at daddy?" And I'm like, "No, for what?" Well, because you seem upset. No, I'm not upset of dad. Like I'm not going to do that to her because she's already had to carry so much. There's just no point. So I'm self-evolved enough to not put that pain on my child and I'm grateful for that. I'm not perfect in all areas, but that's one thing I'll never do.
It's interesting to hear how I imagine children of divorce have a completely different context of this. Is that a big thing that you're like, I'm going to do this better than the way my parents did it?
We have no choice, right? Like, well, we do. We have two choices as adults. Let the shit that we dealt with and we have not healed from our childhoods perpetuate into our own children's worlds and then repeat this cycle of whatever trauma, toxicity. Or we can say, you know what, this ends with me. I have a whole host of issues outside of my parents' divorce, like I've battled eating disorder issues. I've got anxiety, like whatever it is, I work daily in an exhaustive way to make sure that that's not bleeding onto my child. And that's the gift I'm giving her is to stop a cycle that has perpetuated for so long in my family. And I think children of divorce are the ones who appreciate more my high road mentality. Because when you're not a child of divorce and you haven't felt it, and here's this bitch, Michelle Dempsey, telling you to take the high road, even when your ex is an asshole, and even if he's a narcissist, and even, and you're like, you don't know what I deal with. I don't, but I know what it feels like for your kids. And if even if you are dealing with the worst person in the world, all the more reason to take your emotions out of it and focus on the needs of your children. You have to be the reasonable person in an unreasonable situation.